Okay, so here's example 6 with the chain rule. H of x equals e to the cosine of x minus natural log of x squared plus 1, like this here. So again, we're going to do it term by term, okay, because we have one thing minus another thing. So we're just going to differentiate term by term. So we want to find h prime of x, and then so for the first term we have e to the cosine of x. So if we remember back from example 4, if you want to take the derivative of e to a thing, that's just going to be e to that thing multiplied by the derivative of that thing. Okay, and in this case that thing is cosine of x, so the derivative of that thing is negative sine of x. So again, derivative of e to a thing is just e to that thing times the derivative of that thing. Right? Remember, the reason is that if you didn't see example 4, I recommend you check it out, but otherwise you could look at this here for now. d dx of e to the x is just e to the x. Okay, so if we just look at the first term here, start at the x, first we take a cosine, and then we do e raised to that. So the big guy is e raised to stuff, and the little guy is cosine of x. So the big guy is e, derivative of e to the x is e to the x, but chain rule says evaluate it at the little guy. So derivative of the big guy, evaluate it at the little guy, that's what this is here. And then multiply by the derivative of the little guy, that's what this is here. So that's the first term. And then the second term is going to be minus, okay, because we have a minus sign here. So it's going to be minus, if you want to take a derivative of the natural log of a thing, then that's going to be 1 over that thing times the derivative of that thing. Okay, so in this case that thing is x squared plus 1, so the derivative is 2x to the first plus 0, which is just 2x. Alright, so that's going on there. And again, if you missed example 5, I do recommend you check it out, but otherwise, just real quick, let's see this here. d dx of natural log of x is just 1 over x. Okay, so d dx of natural log of x squared plus 1. Well, first, what's the big guy, what's the little guy? Here's an x, we square it, then we add 1, then we take a natural log. Okay, so the big guy for the second term is the natural log here, right? And the derivative of natural log of x is 1 over x, but the chain rule says derivative of the big guy evaluated at the little guy. So here's our little guy, x squared plus 1, alright? So it's going to be 1 over x squared plus 1 instead of 1 over x, because it's derivative of the big guy, but then evaluated at the little guy, and then multiply by the derivative of the little guy. Okay, so it's important to understand that, but you know, once you get comfortable with that, you could just think about it the quicker way. If you want to take a derivative of a natural log of a thing, that's just 1 over that thing times the derivative of that thing. Right? Just like over here, it's important to understand what's actually happening behind the scenes here, but as you practice more and more, as you get more used to it, you can see, or you could just start to remember, okay, if I want to take the derivative of e to a thing, then that's just going to be e to that thing times the derivative of that thing. Okay, so that's what's going on there with the chain rule. And then we simplify, not really much to simplify, I guess, but we could just say minus e to the cosine of x times sine of x, like that. And then minus 2x over x squared plus 1. Alright, and that's our answer for example 6. So if h of x is e to the cosine of x minus natural log of x squared plus 1, then h prime of x, the derivative, is this big ol' mess here.